Have you noticed people are dressing much more casually these days? I remember when I was a host on QVC, we had a certain dress code. I mean, we could wear jeans, but they had to be really nice jeans and they couldn't have any rips in them. They couldn't be faded jeans. And they preferred that we dressed up whenever possible. And I used to love doing the jewelry shows. I could put on a suit, put on a tie, and really feel good about the way I was dressing. But now people are much more casual. I think since COVID, when people stopped going into work, they got used to just hanging out in their sweats or their old blue jeans, and they don't pay as much attention. I want to talk to you today about the way we dress and about God's dress code. Did you know He has a dress code? That might come as a surprise to you, but when I read a few verses out of Colossians, I think you'll understand. I'm reading from the New International Version, Colossians chapter 3, beginning in verse 12, it says, "Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience." Do you think of those characteristics as things that we need to put on every day? And just as we communicate a lot to people by the way we dress, we communicate a lot when we are clothed with all of those characteristics. Let me read them to you again. The first one is compassion. Are you a compassionate person? When someone shares something about a difficult time they've gone through, do you show empathy? Do you show concern? Are you a compassionate person? Do you tend to reach out to those who are less fortunate than you? The next one is kindness. Boy, kindness doesn't take a lot. I know it's hard when we're going through a rough day, but just to show others respect, to treat each other politely and say thank you and please and you're welcome and those kinds of things, and just holding the door open for somebody, that's kindness. Humility. This is something that the Bible really talks about quite a bit. It says that none of us should consider ourselves more highly than we ought to, and that God really loves the humble person, but pride comes before the fall. So make sure you're clothing yourself in humility every day. Gentleness, not being harsh with people, not being loud and boisterous, but being gentle. And finally, patience. That's a tough one. Boy, I've been going through so many things lately that are just testing my patience. And I know that I have to continue to grow in that area and be patient with other people. After all, you never know what they're going through. So I hope that inspires you in the morning when you put on your clothes, thinking about clothing yourselves in those characteristics. And I'll talk to you soon for your next morning cup of inspiration. God bless.